California is home to technology innovators, agricultural leaders, business entrepreneurs, and government agencies whose work and businesses use a wide variety of hazardous materials or generate hazardous waste. No matter where that hazardous substance is stored or generated, left unregulated, it has the potential to damage our state's natural beauty, pollute our environment, and endanger our citizens. That is why the Certified Unified Programs Agencies, or CUPAs for short, were established by the legislature to implement and enforce hazardous materials and hazardous waste laws and regulations in a coordinated and consistent manner.
With over 160,000 inspections conducted annually within the state of California, it has a huge impact. We've seen a reduction in hazardous material incidents. We've seen a reduction of underground storage tank unauthorized releases. And with that, we're protecting our groundwater, air, soil, and really our communities.
In the early 1990s, after decades of increasing environmental laws and regulations, industry was concerned about overlapping and redundant programs. They felt there were too many agencies with their own fees, permits, and regulatory requirements that were very similar. All the while, the negative effects of the improper storage, use, and disposal of California's hazardous materials were a top public concern. To counteract this problem, the first CUPAs were certified in 1997 with the mission to protect public health and safety, restore environmental quality, and sustain economic vitality through effective and efficient implementation of the Unified Program. Legislation allowed for participating agencies within a CUPA, collectively known as Unified Program Agencies.
In the beginning, there was oftentimes you would find fields of drums that nobody knew what was in them. Almost every underground tank site leaked. Now it is very rare whenever we do a tank removal of an active tank that you find contamination. Regulations matter, and following the regulations improves the environment.
With a dedicated team of over 800 local government employees, the Unified Program Agencies work with businesses and facilities across the state to ensure hazardous materials and hazardous waste are used, handled, and stored properly, and that the prevention and release response plans that are developed in advance are implemented.
All of our inspectors go out day in and day out, ensuring that the facilities that have toxic materials are actually in compliance and they're not polluting the environment.
When facilities have plans, procedures, and preventative maintenance programs in place to properly store and prevent the release of hazardous materials and toxic gases, there is a decrease in the risk of a release to the environment. Unified Program Agency inspectors are also the ones who regulate above-ground and underground fuel storage tanks to make sure there are no leaks or releases and that proper detection systems have been installed to prevent the release of toxic substances into the soil and water.
Over 20 years, we have seen decreases in releases of hazardous waste.
Since the establishment of the Unified Program Agencies, the number of accidents related to hazardous materials or waste has greatly decreased, and the resulting effects on the citizens and environment has dropped dramatically in California. To keep up with technology and the latest regulatory issues, the Unified Program Agencies meet once a year for one of the country's largest and most comprehensive environmental training conferences. The California CUPA Training Conference provides technical classes, hands-on demonstrations, important environmental education and discussions, and gives awards to leading agencies.
The conference is always evolving with new regulations, new industry, and with 13 different tracks and hundreds of classes. It's amazing.
I come here for a week, I sit in different classes, I go back to the office energized, ready to go with new ideas, new plans on how to implement the program, and it's just a great opportunity.
The California CUPA Training Conference gives everyone involved the opportunity to keep professional knowledge up to date and offers them the chance to network with current and future colleagues. For over 20 years, the CUPAs have been protecting California's communities. And now, with over 80 CUPAs and 32 participating agencies in operation, the Unified Program has become one of the largest and most effective environmental protection programs in the world.
you can clearly see the difference between the environment as a whole, the water, the air, and how it was in the 70s and how it is today.
To find out more about the California Unified Program Agencies or to join our team, please visit calcupa.org.